So today's class is finding your balance. And what do I mean by that? Well, mental balance is having that focus in your day-to-day life, the ability to be doing one thing at a time rather than trying to manage a million different things and not really having a clear focus in your mind. And that practice can start on our yoga mat. It can start with our focus on our pranayama, focus on our breath and how we're feeling in the body, pose by pose. So that's one aspect of balance, the balance between doing and being. And then the other part of it, which we'll explore in the movements today, is finding our physical balance, okay? So finding balance in terms of being on 2 feet versus 1 foot, and then being on our feet versus our hands occasionally as well. So thinking about how we move, how we stand in space, how we find our balance, and we use our focus on the breath or whatever it is that we choose to focus on to keep us balanced in our physical movements as well, okay? When we're standing on one leg, if we're trying to think about what we're having for dinner later, and then we're worrying about what we said to that person 3 days ago over here, it's very difficult for us to be here balancing on 1 foot, okay? So this is kind of putting the pieces of mental and physical balance together within the moving practice, okay? So grab a block to sit on for a moment. Come to a comfortable cross-leg position. And just for a moment, we're going to sit tall with our hips a little bit higher than our feet, than our knees. And we're going to turn the palms to face upward today. So that gives you a little lift of the chest, so this feeling of space arriving into the heart and lungs. And let's close our eyes. And as we close our eyes, lift up through the crown of the head. And as you lift up, notice that lengthening through the spine. Notice the belly starts to naturally draw in a little. Let it draw in and up, but let it soften a touch as well. We tend to spend a lot of time gripping that area, so let that area relax. Soften the space in between the eyebrows, around the edges of the eyes. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. And just take a moment to arrive into your body, letting go of everything that you were doing or thinking about before this moment. And this is the practice of dharana, the practice of drawing your awareness in. Pratyahara, letting go of everything that's happening outside of you. And bringing your awareness to a single point, a single focus. So let's now begin to notice how the breath feels. As we inhale, notice whether it's easier to come in through the nose or the mouth. And draw that energy down towards the belly. Become aware of the expanding around the chest, around the heart, around the lungs. Growing taller through the spine, lifting up towards the sky with every breath in. And then as you exhale, notice that area that expanded just slowly, calmly coming back towards center. We maintain the height that we've created, the length in the spine, but we let the energy work its way out through the nose or the mouth. And every inhale that you take, become aware of a little bit more space arriving into the physical tissues of the body, as well as a little bit more space in between the thoughts in your mind as you focus just on the breath and expansion. And as you breathe out, just awareness of everything coming back to center and that need to let go of everything else. 3 more breaths just like this. I'm aware that I'm breathing in. I'm aware that I'm breathing out. I'm aware that I'm breathing in. I'm aware that I'm breathing out. One more time, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. I'm aware that I'm breathing out. And just take a moment to notice when the 3rd breath is complete, how you feel. And even though we won't count the breath or control the breath in any way as we move, just drawing your awareness to the breath as we begin to flow in a moment. And using it as an anchor for your mind, a way in which it becomes easier to be present in the shapes and the movements, the moments that we're in together. When you finish the breath that you're working with, let's just slowly start to open the eyes. And then release the block from underneath you and just place it to the side and go ahead and come to the top of your mat, nice and slowly. Okay, so starting at the top of our mat. Bring the hands to heart center. And as you push the hands against each other, notice the firing up of the muscles in the upper back here. Okay, take the feet a little wider than together. So they're almost underneath your hips, and just play around with coming onto the heels of the foot, the ball of the foot, and lifting the heels. You're rocking back and forth effectively, and everything is nice and strong in the upper back. You can either look forward or just take your gaze down beyond your nose towards the floor. And in a moment, just arrive onto the balls of your feet. Standing tall, still strong in the upper body. Gaze wherever you need it to be, planting the toes down firmly. Take a big breath here. And then lower the heels down, reach the arms up to the sky as you inhale, lift the heart. Keep the feet connected to the ground, and as you exhale, hinge from the hips, hands come down to the ground. You're in a forward fold with a bend in the knees most likely. And then keep a little bend in the knees, sweep the arms down and then up, come into chair pose. Okay, so we're a little closer to the earth now. And I want you to do the same thing again. Hands can stay up or hands can be at heart center. And you're just going to come onto the balls of the feet. Heels lift, gaze down. And then lower the heels back down, lift the toes, spread them wide. Notice how that shifts the balance of things in the muscles of the legs. And then put the toes down, balls of the feet on the earth, heels lift. Heels come down, toes lift. Spread them wide. And then balls of the feet last time. This time heels lift, stay here. You will wobble, okay, that's okay. It's going to build a little heat in the legs, a little challenge for the brain, for the muscles. One more breath here. Nice, and then straighten out the legs, hands to the ground, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Take the arms back towards the back of the room and then turn the palms outwards. So you're externally rotating the arms. Little softness to the knee. Look ahead of you, come onto the balls of the feet again. Notice how that feels. Okay, notice how the big toe tries to peel away from the ground and you encourage it back down to earth. And then lower everything to the ground, forward fold. Step the right foot back, knee to the earth, top of the foot to the floor, and we're close to the ground as we lift the fingers up to the sky. Take a nice big breath here. And then as you exhale, straighten out left leg, right hip comes back above right knee, fingers reach back, toes point towards us on the left leg. Bending left knee, sweep the arms up to the sky, low crescent. One more time, straighten out left leg, fingers back, chest forward, toes towards us. And then inhale, come up into crescent. Tuck the right toes under, lift the knee, come up into high crescent here. Nice big breath, belly in. Lean forward, reach the fingers back just as we have. Turn the palms to face outward. Gaze just beyond the top of the mat, lifting the right leg up, and just slowly start to bring that leg to be parallel to the ground as you bring the torso forward, warrior three. Take a nice big breath, strong in the upper back. Roll that right thigh in a little. Take a breath. And then soften both knees, foot to the earth, chair pose. Okay, chair pose is our rest pose for the moment. And just rock back and forth between the 2 feet. Front and back of the foot to the ground. Notice how the toes work, the muscles around the ankles, the knees, the hips. Take another breath and then gently pause in center. And then lean the arms back. Turn the palms to face outward, chest opens, upper back strong, and come onto the balls of the feet again. Gaze is just to the ground ahead of you. One big breath. And then release into forward fold, hands to the ground. Step left foot back this time. Knee to the earth. Inhale, sweep up into low crescent. Sink down, belly in and up. Strong in the upper back. Okay, notice how that feels. And then start to straighten out right leg, fingers reaching back, heart towards the toes. Bring a bend into right knee, low crescent appears again, strong through the hips. And then last time, straighten out right leg, toes towards us, hands back. Bending right knee, arriving back into low crescent, and as you get there, tuck left toes under, lift the knee, so we come into high crescent. Belly lifts in and up. Leaning forward, fingers come back. And then turn the palms to face outward. So you're rolling the arms outward, external rotation. Gaze just ahead of the mat, weight into the right foot. Pick up left leg, torso and left leg come parallel to the ground. Roll left thigh in a little. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other so you've got power in the upper back to help you here. Gaze is just down. One more breath. And then soften both knees, feet to the ground, arms up, chair pose. Okay? And then simple forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, spine up. Hands to the ground, step back to plank. Okay, take left hand into the middle of the mat, outside edge of left foot to the ground, right foot stacks on top or in front of it, left knee can also lower to the ground, side plank with right hand reaching high. Little balance of the hands, one side of the body versus the other, and then lower right hand down, readjust yourself to plank. And then guide right hand into the center of the mat, outside edge of right foot to the earth, left foot on top, left hand to the sky, make adjustments as you need. One big breath. Lower the hand to the ground, readjust the feet and hands to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. And then lower yourself down. One more time, cobra, come up a little higher. Bend in the elbows still, chest reaching forward, heart expanding. Tuck those toes under, lift up through plank, downward facing dog. Take a nice big breath as you push the earth away, walk the dog a little, release some of the work that we've already done in the legs. Lift one heel, bend the same knee, hips lifting high so we keep that length in the spine. Nice big breath. And then go ahead and just walk your hands towards your feet here. So you're in forward fold at the back of your mat. Draw the belly to the spine, roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae, and as you get to stand tall, reach the hands up to the sky. Okay, and then sink back into your chair. Take a nice big breath here. Sink a little deeper, draw the belly in and up. Okay, nice big breath. Take the hands to heart center, inhale. Exhale, twist to the right, left elbow hooks the inside of right knee. Chest reaches around to meet the hands. Look down though. Weight into the right foot. See if you can lift left heel towards the bottom. So you're twisting towards the side of the room, but you're standing on one leg, just for a second. Keep the gaze down, lower left foot to the earth, come back into that central chair. And then hands to heart center, inhale. Exhale, twist to the left, right elbow hooks outside of left knee. Twist the heart around to meet the hands again. Guide the gaze down to the ground. Weight into left foot, hug the belly in towards the spine, reach the right heel towards your bottom. Maintaining that twist through thoracic spine. Nice big breath. And then lower the foot to the ground, come back to chair pose. Take the feet a little wider, hip width apart, if they aren't already. And then I want you to sink down into Malasana. Adjust the feet as you need to. Lift up through the heart. Nice big breath. Use the arms to really open up through the inner thigh here. Notice how that feels. This feeling of space arriving in through the groin. Notice how it feels for the lower back to reach downward. Chest broad. And then let's just walk the fingers forwards as far as we can. So a nice lengthening of the spine. Keep the legs wide. And then walk the hands back until the back of your arm, your tricep, meets the inner thigh or inside of the knee. Spread the fingers wide. Look forward, lift your bottom up, gaze comes to the middle of the mat, and start to lean forward as you pick up one foot, maybe 2 feet away from the ground, coming into your crow pose. See how long you can stay there. Keep gripping inner thighs to arms, keep pushing into the ground with the fingers, take a breath. And if you didn't already join me back into Malasana, then go ahead and lower the feet down. Once you're there, hands to the earth, walk them forward and you're back into downward facing dog, making any adjustments that you need to with your feet. And lift those hips high. Take a big inhale, big exhale. One more. And then pick up the right leg, three-legged downward dog. Roll the thigh in a little, lift up through the back of the leg. Spread the right hand and the fingers wide. Some of you will stay here. Some of you might take your left hand onto fingertips. Some of you might walk the left fingertips towards the center of your mat. Not the center, but the left side of the center of the mat. Some of you might bring left hand to rest on your heart. Some of you might bring left arm to reach the fingers up towards the sky behind you. Same direction as right leg. Wobbling is going to happen. And then lower the hands slowly with control to the ground. Step right foot forward between the hands. Stay on the ball of left foot. Inhale, fingers up to the sky. Okay, staying with me. Sink into the hips. Push away and reach away with that left heel. Nice and strong. And now bring your gaze forward. So rather than down, bring it forward. Draw the belly in and up. And I want you to draw left knee in towards the chest. Okay, left knee in towards the chest. Take a nice big breath here. And then bring the hands to heart center. And as the elbows come down towards the knee, I want you to hinge forward from the hips. Reach that left leg back. We're coming back into warrior three. Okay, and then cactus the arms. So take the palms away from each other now. So the elbows are bent. Torso and left leg parallel to the ground. And the fingers are facing forwards. Left heel is reaching back. Have a little softness in your right knee if you need it. Take a breath. And then stand tall, fingers to the sky, left knee in towards the chest. Okay. And then draw left knee out to the side of the room. Place the foot to the inside of the thigh. Take the arms wider if you need to. And really push down through the toes. Grip the outer buttocks, yeah? Kind of squeeze the buttocks. Push left foot into right thigh. And vice versa. Should feel a little warmer. Take another big breath here. And then one more. In fact, I'll stay facing you. Now release the foot, draw the knee in towards the chest, soften right knee, wrap left leg over the top of right leg, sink down into eagle legs. Option to keep the arms wide or arms in front of you, right arm on top, bend the elbows, wrap the arms around each other, and then lift up with the fingers. Okay, eagle pose. Take a moment to appreciate everything that's happening in the standing leg. Keep lifting up through the fingers, keep reaching elbows away from face. Big breath. One more. And then unwind the arms, fingers to the sky. Lift and unwrap the legs, left knee into the chest. Soften right leg, land it back into your crescent. Left hand to the earth, twist, right hand to the sky, shoulder, ribs, chest, draw back. And then take the hand to the ground, step back to one-legged plank or regular plank, your choice. One-legged chaturanga or regular. Uplift of choice. Upward facing dog works nicely if you have a lifted leg. Downward facing dog as we exhale. Catch your breath. Hands wide. Spread the fingers wide. Lift left leg up to the sky. Three-legged downward dog. Roll the thigh in a little. Get really strong as you lift up through the back of that left leg. Come onto fingertips of right hand. Fingertips of right hand. And then walk the fingertips back the mat towards the center. Possibly you'll stay there. Some of you are going to bring right hand to rest on the heart. Notice the wobbles. If it feels unstable, the ground is right there for the hand. And some of you might reach right hand back towards left leg. Strong straight lines. And then slowly lower the hand to the ground. Flat to the ground. Look forward, step left foot forward. Stay on the ball of right foot. Crescent pose, second side. Okay, sink into those hips. Reach away through the right heel, nice and steady. Belly in. Looking forward. Nice big breath. Find your balance, your steadiness, your focus for the mind. And then we're going to step forward, reaching right knee in towards the chest. Bring the hands together at heart center, and as the elbows approach the knee, begin to hinge forward from the hips. Torso reaches forward, right leg reaches back, everything parallel to the ground. Roll right thigh in a little. Okay, take a nice big breath here. Now cactus the arms. Take them so that the triceps and biceps are parallel to the ground. Fingers face forwards, gaze is down. Strong, strong, strong. Nice, and then stand up tall, fingers to the sky, knee in towards the chest. Get grounded through the left foot. And then draw right knee out to the right side of the room. Place the foot into the inside of the thigh. Use your hands if you need. Widen the hands in the air if you need as well. And push the foot against the thigh, thigh against the foot. Squeeze the outer hip muscles. Notice how all of that feels. Take a breath. Uncurl the left toes. One more. And then take the foot away from the thigh. Draw the knee in towards the chest here. Soften left knee. Wrap right leg over left. Wrap shin and ankle around each other. Keep the arms wide if you want to. Or this time, left arm on top. Bend the elbows. Wrap the arms around each other. Eagle pose. Okay, notice how that feels. My left side is always much more wobbly than the right, so I have to work a little harder to focus. This is where the mind-body connection comes in. Already I've fallen. Take another breath here. And then ever so slowly unwind the arms. Unwind the legs. Stand straight with left leg, knee to the chest. Pause for a moment, and then you'll soften left knee and land back with control to your crescent where it all began. Take right hand to the ground, twist, left hand up to the sky, shoulder, ribs, chest back. Big, big breath. And then hand to the ground. Carry left leg back to one-legged plank or regular plank. One-legged chaturanga or regular. Uplift of choice. Chest forward, proud, courageous warriors. And then tuck the toes under, lift up through plank to downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Hands push the earth away. Hips lift high, thighs reach back. Strong through the hands, open around the heart, chest and shoulders. Notice how the back of the legs feel compared to when we started. Belly stays drawn in. Head heavy, neck relaxed. One more breath here. All right, look to the middle of the mat. Soften your knees. Jump your feet just beyond the middle of the mat. Lower the bottom to the ground. Our last balance, Navasana boat pose. Imagine a block in between the thighs, collarbone broad, fingers forward. Option to straighten the legs if that's in your practice. Toes spread wide. And notice how that feels. One more breath, collarbone broad, lifted heart. Nice, and then lower the feet to the ground, lift your chest a little. Make sure there's enough room to lie down. So shuffle forward if you need. Feet planted to the earth, belly to the spine. Roll yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae to the ground. And then once you get there, draw the knees into your chest, place the feet up towards the sky. Take hold of the foot or ankle or calf. Draw the knees down either side of your body. Happy baby pose. Option to keep the knees bent or straighten the legs out one at a time or both together. Option to be still or roll a little side to side. Notice that nice release through the groin. Often when we are balancing, we're doing a lot of work for the inner thigh, strengthening a lot of use of the outer hip as well. So take a moment to breathe into this area. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Heart rate starts to slow down. One more breath here. And then release the feet, draw the knees towards each other. Cross left ankle over right knee. So external rotation of the left leg. Reach the arms around the right leg, the back of it, or the front of the right shin. And just interlace the fingers wherever you can get them to. And draw the left shin towards you. So you're now feeling it on the outside of the hip versus the inner hip where we were just before. Take a big breath here. Notice how it feels on this side. Chances are it might be slightly different on the second side. And then release your grip of whatever you're holding on to on the right leg and swap those legs over. Right leg crosses over left. Left arm to wrap their way around some part of left leg. Torso draws towards us. Shin draws towards torso. And now notice how it feels on the right outer hip. So this feels much nicer for me than the left side. So my left side is doing more work, potentially than the right. A little imbalance there to notice. Notice how it feels for you. We've got another breath or two here. And when that breath that you're with right now finishes, release the legs, give the knees a little hug and roll a little side to side here. Massage out the lower back if that feels good. And then one leg at a time, release it down to the mat, coming into Shavasana as you take the arms out to wherever feels good for your body. Feet relaxed in whichever direction they naturally fall. And letting the whole of the back line of the body just melt down towards the ground here. Softening the space in between the eyebrows, around the corners of the mouth. And just taking this opportunity to pause with every single part of the back line of the body connected to the earth. Calm and relaxed. This sense of simply being. Start to bring the smallest movements back into the fingers and the toes, a little awakening in the body. Reaching the arms up overhead, a full body stretch. Enjoy the knees in towards center, giving them a little hug, and then gently rolling over to whichever side of your body feels right for you. Using the hands to push the ground away as you lift yourself up to a comfortable seat, letting the eyes stay closed if you can. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. Notice this sense of focus, calmness, clarity in the mind and the body. See if you can carry this with you into this brand new day ahead, this brand new week ahead. Knowing that it's always there inside of you to come back to when you take the time to notice. Let's bring the hands together at heart center. Bowing our head to our hands in gratitude for our practice, in gratitude for our health. Namaste.